Hello everybody, just want to give you some ideas on how I paint a basic looking branch. So this, as you can see with these two blue tits I'm working on at the moment, the branch is very skinny, very basic, nothing flash, just kind of give it something to the birds to kind of sit on really, to kind of stand on. So let's zoom in and we'll see how we get on from there. So zooming in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Oh, here we go. Right, about there I would say, don't you? So yes, pull. Okay, brilliant. So what I'm going to do first is cover up part of the paper with a piece of clean kind of printing paper. That's all I tend to use. And I think what I want to do, bear in mind I'm left-handed here guys, okay? So put some very light lines, and this is burnt umber, just along the branch, barely touching the paper as you can tell. And it's quite handy if you've got a shaky hand, to be honest with you. So if you've got a shaky hand, you're going to go, whoa, you can really get some nice effects on there as well. So let's get a few shakes in there, whoa, and then that would work quite well. Okay, so a few shakes. And you can do this with varying tones, so you can thin the colour out, you can thicken it if you want to, you can add colour to it, so it depends on what colour branch you want. And the good thing about a branch is that all branches are different. I do apologise, I've got a fly buzzing around my head as I'm talking to you at this minute. So I'm not going to cut that bit out because it's just part of who I am, alright? Ah dear. So, go away fly, buzz off. No, that's a bee, sorry. Yeah, so all you need to do is kind of work on the layers with different kind of depths of colour. So if I wanted to use this one colour, I'd water it down to begin with, so start off quite light and then get darker as you go along. That's all I would normally do with something like this. The fly is now pitched in the window in front of me and it keeps winking. In fact, I'm sure it's a big fly. I'm sure we can hear it breathing, to be honest with you. So you got to think about when you're doing something like this is just kind of do little tiny marks, and it's a matter of building up these little areas, these little marks as we go along. Okay. If you want to know how to do this a bit more detailed, then I do similar things to this with my tutorials on Patreon. So have a look at my link below or above or wherever, it's probably down there actually right this minute. Have a look at the link and you'll see some of my video tutorials on there on how I paint certain birds and branches. This one's, by the way, is an otter. Oh yes, otter, an Asian short-clawed otter. Step by step how to paint fur. I've been asked that many times by people. So you'll enjoy that one. If you're on my Patreon page, pop along. If you're not, pop along anyway. And you see what I mean. Right, now I'm going to go with a darker colour, which is burnt umber, lamp black, and a little bit of burnt sienna. Now, why do I use burnt sienna? Because I want it to warm a little bit. I want it to be a bit of a warmer colour. If I don't kind of put burnt sienna in there, it becomes very flat. You know, because you guys know that I like to use lamp black, even though it's a bit of a taboo for some watercolours, I know. But in my case, the way I paint, I use black. But I always add colour to it, kind of enrich it that little bit more, just to make it stand out, you know? And it works really well. So, but it depends how you use it. Just don't use it neat on its own because it does look very flat and bland. So now you can see they're starting to kind of shape and form, and that's just by using two mixes of colours so far, apart from obviously the undercolour wash that I've already put on there. And that's kind of coming together. I mean, obviously what you can do with the darker colour is put some little curls in there, have a little knot in there, something like that, just little shapes here and there. And obviously a branch will be darker on the underside as it is on the top, so you make it a little bit darker. And the way you do that, instead of going thicker lines, you just put more thin lines underneath. And you can see that now starting to come together. Let's give this a bit of a shadow down there, shall we? So it looks like the foot is actually sitting on that branch, a little bit between its toes. Tickle, tickle. Okay, right. So I'll give you some ideas how I would paint a basic looking branch. So thank you for watching. If you want to pop along to my little Patreon page down there, and you can see more of this kind of tutorial on there. And if not, just put a little comment below and say hi. That's all I want to know. Hi, how are you? And we'll talk to you again soon. So thank you for watching.